I watched Unicorn Store, which recently premiered on Netflix. It's directed by and stars Brie Larson and Samuel L. Jackson. I wanted to watch it because it seemed like it was going to be kind of a fun indie movie. At least that's what the trailer said. But it didn't turn out quite that way. I tend to organize movies that I've seen into a few different categories. This one I'd organize into the category of I'm glad I saw it, but I probably wouldn't see it again. The tone was all over the place. It seemed like someone who was doing the editing thought that maybe they were making a psychological thriller. There's very odd music that plays over the beginning when you're showing Kit's progression into being an artist. And Samuel L. Jackson's character is just all over the place. I know the idea was to keep suspicion regarding whether Kit is actually going to get a unicorn or if Samuel L. Jackson is just a con man, but he really came across like it was kind of a he's the devil and he wants Kit's soul situation. You just kind of get that feeling throughout all the movie, and that's not really what you should be getting with a quirky indie movie. I also feel like the trailer kind of lied to me. I feel like Netflix either will give away way too much in the trailer, like I think they're doing with this movie coming out in a few days. I think it's called The Perfect Date. They'll give away literally everything. Or they'll basically lie about what's happening. Like in the trailer for Unicorn Store, you see this guy, and he is talking to Kit by a photocopier, and he says, oh, you mean like my parents, I want to be a ballerina, but my parents wouldn't pay for the lessons. You don't want to be a temp here forever, do you? And he seems just kind of a relatable office character, but everyone in this movie is insane. Like, everyone is weird except for Virgil. He's the only normal one, but everyone else is just nuts, and it doesn't always work because, you know, you get the feeling that Kit is like kind of the outcast, she's too quirky, she's too independent, but everyone else is so weird too. Like, I think that there were two screenplays spliced together. Indie movie and absurdist comedy, and it doesn't really work. I personally was not a fan of Captain Marvel. I think that she's boring and has no personality. The movie itself is okay, kind of along the same lines as just a little worse than Thor the Dark World, but a little bit better than Iron Man 2. But at the same time, like, I kind of know that Brie Larson won an Academy Award for Best Actress in Room. So, I mean, she must be a good actress, right? There are moments where she's a very good actress, but there's other moments where she just keeps that same blank expression that she had in Captain Marvel and that she has in talk show interviews, and I don't know if just her acting style isn't my cup of tea or if she really can't act. I honestly don't know which one it is, but I just didn't buy what she was trying to sell us here. Apparently, she actually originally auditioned before she was brought on as a director for Unicorn Store. She auditioned for the lead and didn't get it, and I can kind of see why. I'm thinking that as the director, she probably just decided to cast herself, and I know there's more people who have a say, but I think that's how she ended up getting the job. I think that the girl from Set It Up would have been a really good choice for this, or the main lead in The F Word, the one with Daniel Radcliffe. Like, I think that either of those girls would have been great. Brie Larson is just... Maybe she won the Oscar for Room because she had to look really stunned and shocked most of the movie. I haven't seen the movie, I don't know, but maybe. The movie has elements of what it was supposed to be. It's like one time I went to the Safeway and I bought some pre-made cookie dough mix. And I put in the egg and, you know, mixed it with flour, and I did end up with dough somehow. And I put it on a cookie sheet and I put it into the oven. And I guess I didn't really think about how far apart the cookies should be or how big they should be, because it all kind of melded into one monster cookie that was raw on the bottom and burnt on the top, and I don't really know how you manage that. For me, it's usually the reverse. So this movie is like those cookies. You can see what it was supposed to be through the mess, but it's just not as good as it could have been. I think that what they needed to do was just make everyone a little more normal so the kid could stand out more, because as it is, she does have a lot of personality. She has more personality in the first 1 minute than she had for all of Captain Marvel. She has a lot of personality, but it doesn't stand out because everyone else is just insane. Essentially, you have to watch the movie. It's like you feel like they didn't think the movie was interesting enough, so they add these bizarre elements and bizarre characters, and it doesn't work. The whole movie is like, weird thing happens, weird thing happens, weird thing happens, and then the credits roll. And it could have been so much better. I have more hope for, I think, Perfect Date now, because I think that given how the trailer pretty much shows the entire movie, it'll probably be better. It seems like when Netflix actually does show the entire movie, it's better. I guess they're just not very good at trailers. And when they have a trailer that seems good, usually that's because the trailer is a lie. It's funny because Captain Marvel was completely tell, don't show. Captain Marvel is a strong, independent woman, and she's more powerful than Thor and will defeat Thanos. No, we're not going to show you in the movie. Just watch these interviews where she talks about it. Trust us. Whereas this movie was very show, don't tell, and it's so much so that it doesn't really work. You see Kit's entire childhood and her being an artist and everything, and you see how supportive her parents are, and you see that they really seem to like this one kid who goes to their camp, and you see that Samuel Jackson's a little weird, but this is the first time I'm ever going to say this, and maybe the last time. This movie doesn't have enough exposition. Sometimes I did just want people to say, yeah, then this happened, do you remember when this happened? I mean, I didn't want them to say something like, as you already know, but I wanted more exposition. So overall, the movie was good, and I'm glad I saw it, but I probably wouldn't watch it again. I am finding that I'm not really a fan of Brie Larson's acting. If you could recommend a movie that she's in that is good aside from Room, that would be fantastic. I mean, she's actually a good singer. I have one of her songs on my iPod. It's called She Said. But all in all, I think that the movie struggles from everything being weird. The story is weird, the characters are weird, literally everything's weird, and it's okay for some things to be weird, but some things have to be down to earth too. Thank you so much for watching my reaction to Unicorn Store. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, ring the bell, and comment below to let me know what you thought.